what's up YouTube, in this video I'll be showing you how to make Popular MMOs Arena. But just a little warning before we get this thing started guys, this thing is probably going to be a little tricky to follow along with. The tutorial might not be that easy to follow at certain points in this video, but I can promise you I have tried my absolute hardest to make this as simple and as easy to follow along with as possible. But just look at this thing. It's a tricky shape, it's a tricky build, it's quite big, it might not be that simple at certain points, but I have tried my hardest for you guys for your guys' sake. Just saying. By the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system for a few reasons. Not only am I going to leave links to loads of videos and playlists that I think that you guys might really enjoy, but two specific videos. I have made a Popular MMOs statue tutorial, and I've also made Gaming with Jen, Super Girly Gamer. I've made a statue tutorial for her as well. If you haven't checked both of those out, and you like Popular MMOs, you might want to check those out if you haven't already. But moving on, if you want to make the arena, I know you guys do, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some cobblestone. You'll also need some birchwood planks. Also grab spruce wood. Also grab stone bricks. You'll need some nether brick. Grab some nether brick fence. You're also going to need some chiseled stone bricks. And you'll need some cracked stone bricks. Also, grab some glowstone. Now, we are going to need quite a few more materials later on, but we'll just have to swap in and out what we need as we work with it, guys, because, well, obviously, we don't have enough room, do we? So, once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out what you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off the arena with this sequence of blocks. And I will point this out nice and early on, guys. We're starting with the front of the arena. We're starting with the very front, so wherever you want the front to be, like, for instance, we're going to be starting this off with a stone brick. Wherever you want the front to be, like, this is going to be the front that we're looking at right now. So, you want to place that stone brick and look down on the floor. And from that stone brick, you want to do an up left diagonal with your nether brick. And then you want to go left of it by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Take out your spruce wood. Do an up left diagonal and go left by 1. Then, do another up left diagonal, go left by 1. Do an up left diagonal, go left by 1. Then do 7 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go up by 1. Do an up left diagonal, go up by 1. Up left diagonal, go up by 1. And then take out your nether brick and do an up left diagonal, go up by 2. Then take out your chiseled stone bricks, go up by 1. Take out your spruce wood, do an up left diagonal, and go up by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take out your chiseled stone bricks again, do an up right diagonal. Then take out your nether brick and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then take out your spruce wood again, do an up right diagonal, go up by 1. Then do an up right diagonal, go up by 1. Do an up right diagonal, go up by 1. Then do 7 upright diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to take that 7th upright diagonal, go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go right by 1. Upright diagonal, right by 1. Take out your nether brick, do an upright diagonal, go right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then take out your stone bricks, do an upright diagonal, go right by 1. Then continue going right with your nether brick by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take out your stone bricks and go right by 2. Then take out your nether brick again and do a bottom right diagonal and go right by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then take out your spruce wood, do a bottom right diagonal and go right by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1. Do 7 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 1. Bottom right diagonal, go down by 1. Take out your nether brick, do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2. Then take out your chiseled stone bricks, go down by 1. Then take out your spruce wood, do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then take out your chiseled stone bricks, do a bottom left diagonal. Go down from those chiseled stone bricks by 3 with the nether brick, that's 1, 2, 3. Take out your spruce wood, do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Do a bottom left diagonal, go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, go down by 1. Do 7 bottom left diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go left by 1. Do a bottom left diagonal, go left by 1. Bottom left diagonal, go left by 1. Take out your old pal, the nether bricks. Do a bottom left diagonal. Go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then take out stone bricks. Do a bottom left diagonal. Left by 1. Then take out your nether bricks and go left by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take out your stone bricks and go left by 1 to plug the gap. And what you'll want to end up with, guys, should look, once you've finished it should end up looking a little bit like this. And there you go, guys. You basically have the base of your arena right there on the floor. Okay, so now that we have the foundation for this thing built, we're now going to build up the shape a little bit more. We're going to do the front, back, and the sides, and then we're kind of going to do everything in between before we start focusing on the finer points of the arena. So, come down to the very front of your arena. As a matter of fact, either this side, this front, or that opposite side can be the front at any point in time. They're kind of interchangeable, to be honest with you, but let's say that this side, what do we have here to mark this out? Let's say this side is the front with the glowstone. Once you are on the front of your arena, this is what you want to do. Take out your stone bricks, and you can see where we have this very first stone brick that we actually placed to kick off the arena. Well, on top of this stone brick, we want to go up by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 1. Then do 3 upright diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go down by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal. Drag it all the way down to the ground or to where we have the opposite stone brick. Then on top of this inside stone brick that we have right here next to the one that we just connected down to, you want to go up on top of this by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you want to take this 6th block, you want to go left of it by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. Go left by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Do a bottom left diagonal, and then go down until you touch the ground. So, actually, you wanted to do more than one bottom left diagonal because that didn't connect properly. You want to do 2 bottom left diagonals and then connect down to the ground. Whoops, my bad. You want to end up with an archway that should look a little bit like this. And what you can then do is you can then fill the center of this thing in with stone bricks. So, you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Perfect. Now, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, we now want to build up the entrance a little bit. So, the way to do this, we want to take out our chiseled stone bricks. And can you see just inside of this shape that we have right here, you, with your stone bricks, want to do chiseled stone bricks, this is. You kind of want to go all the way around the inside shape of the archway that you've just made out of stone bricks, and you just want to do it with your chiseled stone bricks. So looking from the outside in, you want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Isn't that easy? Once you've got that taken care of with your chiseled stone bricks, you then want to connect these bottom 2 chiseled stone bricks together, bottom block to bottom block like that. Then take that road that you just used to connect the bottom blocks, extend it out in front of the arena by 1. Take out your spruce wood, and you just want to do a spruce wood either side of each one of those end nether bricks. You then want to extend those spruce woods out in front of the builder by 1 each. And then you want to kind of like do bottom diagonals from those spruce woods walking down to the ground. And what we then want to do, we don't have the material on us, we want to take out the stone brick stairs, and we kind of just want to bridge the gap between each one of those spruce woods. So you can see now we have kind of like a little walkway up to the arena. And what we also want to do is we want to fill the center part of this little entrance, this little archway that we've made, we want to fill the center part of this in with nether brick fence. So we kind of have like a gate like this, and there you have it, guys. That is kind of like the entrance to the arena. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we're now going to build up the front a little bit, but we're not going to do the entire thing. Take out your nether brick. Come all the way over to the left-hand side here where we have this most left-hand nether brick, like just left of the entrance. You don't want to go all the way over there. Just left of the entrance. Take this left-hand nether brick and go up on top of it by 5 with your nether brick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 2. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up by 1. Then do 3 upper right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal. Go right by 1. Do 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go down by 2. 1, 2. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3, 1, 2, 3. Do a bottom right diagonal, and go down until you connect to the opposite side of the arena. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So essentially it's a nice big giant nether brick archway around your stone brick archway, and what you can do after that is just fill in the center of your nether brick archway, except you don't have to fill all of it in, you just have to fill the parts that you'd like be able to see from the outside. So basically you kind of want to fill like around the outside shape of the stone brick archway, and that's it. I don't know what better way to explain it. You want to fill in the parts around the stone brick archway like this, and that's it. You don't need to fill in any more. There's no real point. I mean, it's not filled in the actual arena, plus it looks better from the inside because it gives it a bit of a shape anyway. So you just want to leave that nice and hollow like this, and from the outside obviously you get this sort of effect. Now we're going to build up a couple of these spruce wood archways. So come just left of the entrance once again. You're looking for this spruce wood. You guys can see it. It's very close to where we started off the nether brick. And on top of this outer spruce wood, the second spruce wood coming left, we want to go up on top of this by 8, guys. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to do an upright diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do 2 upright diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go up on top of that second upright diagonal by 1. Go right of it by 11, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go down by 1. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go down from that second bottom right diagonal by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go all the way down until you connect to the opposite side on the other side of the entrance. So you just want to have something which should look like that. And what we then want to do is just fill the inside of the shape, and we'll have to do this for just about every single part of the sideways part of this arena. I say sideways part of this arena, I don't know why I said that. For all of the spruce parts of this arena, that's basically how this is going to work. We'll like make archways and stuff like this, and then we'll just have to fill in the insides of them. And remember, you only fill in the parts that you need to. You don't fill in the entire like back of this thing. You only fill in the parts which in this case are like around the nether brick archway. You don't fill in any more. Whoops. Like that. You don't want to fill in any more. You only want to fill in the visible parts from the outside, and you do want to actually fill all of those in. So what you want to end up with should look a little bit like this. Now we're going to do one more part of the spruce wood, and then we're going to move on to the back, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing on the back actually. So coming all the way over to the left hand side again, and on top of this outer spruce wood, you want to go up on top of this outer spruce wood by 8 with your spruce wood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an upright diagonal. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 2, 1, 2. Do an upright diagonal, and go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up 1, right by 2. And then fill the center of that shape in. So we just then want to fill the center of the shape in, just enough so that you can't see anything from the outside. And once you have that done, on the left hand side, you want to do the same thing on the right. So on the right hand side, on top of this outer spruce wood that we have just going right of this, we want to go up on top of this by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an up left diagonal. We then want to go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do an up left diagonal and go up by 2. We then want to do an up left diagonal, go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal, go up 1, go left by 2 to connect to the entrance, and then we can just fill the center of this thing in with our spruce wood, and I'll just show you guys what we're going to end up with next, and we'll just end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And you can see how this whole thing is going to be built up. It's going to be layers and layers and layers that very much look like this one, and as a matter of fact, the next bit that we are going to be doing is going to look exactly like this because it's identical. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, once you've done this on the front, you actually want to do the exact same thing on the back. So you want to come all the way over to the opposite side, and that's why I said like the front and back of this place is actually quite interchangeable. You want to come all the way to the back, and we're literally doing the same thing. So on top of this left-hand stone brick that we have just like left of the entrance, this one, we want to go up on top of this by 6 with the stone bricks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do an upright diagonal and go up by 1. We then want to do 3 upright diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down until you connect to the opposite stone brick on the other side. You then want to take this stone brick that's left of like the connecting stone brick, you want to go up on top of this by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do 2 up left diagonals, so that'll be 1 and 2. We then want to go left by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Then connect that second bottom left diagonal all the way over down to the opposite side. Fill in the center part of the shape that you've just made with stone brick, so you want to have a stone brick archway like this, and you can see it's pretty much the exact same thing that we have on the opposite side. Now, once you've got that taken care of, as you guys might remember, we now want to take out our chiseled stone bricks, and inside of, behind the archway shape that we have in the center of our stone brick archway, that's a sentence, you just want to do a layer of chiseled stone bricks just in the center behind. So you kind of just want to form that shape right there. Now, once you form that shape, it's now time for us to build this up a little bit. So you want to take out your nether brick, you want to connect the bottom two chiseled stone bricks together. You then want to take that layer of nether brick, extend it out in front by 1. Do a spruce wood either side of the nether brick. Take the spruce wood, extend it out by 1. Then connect down to the ground diagonally with your spruce wood. You then want to do 2 rows of stone brick stairs in between the 2 layers of spruce wood like this. And then you just want to do nether brick fence all around the inside. I say all around the inside, all in the inside of the chiseled stone brick archway. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. And if you're a little crazy, a little bit like I am, you may want to make sure that those spruce woods are facing upwards, because apparently they are that way on the actual arena. So that is the back little archway here. We now want to take out the nether brick, and we want to do a roughly similar thing well, it's the same thing that we did on the front. I've said that a few times. So once you've got that taken care of, take out your nether brick and come just left of the entrance. You're looking for this most left-hand nether brick. On top of this left-hand nether brick, go up by 5 with the brick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then turn flight back on and do an upright diagonal. Go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up by 2. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up by 1. Do 3 upright diagonals, that's 1, 2, and 3. Then go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go right 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1. Do 3 bottom right diagonals, that is 1, 2, and 3. Then go down by 1. You then want to do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3, that's 1, 2, and 3. Do a bottom right diagonal, connect it all the way down to the opposite nether brick, and you guys know what to do after that, don't you? Don't you remember? You fill in the inside of the nether brick. You fill inside of the archway with your nether brick. You don't go behind the stone though. You stay away from that. You go all the way around the inside of it, but you stay away from that stone. You don't want to place any random maverick nether bricks. You don't know what trouble they might get into. So we're just filling around the inside of this thing. After this, we're going to be doing just the 2 layers of the spruce wood archway on the back, because that's all we did on the front. Then we'll be taking care of the sides. We'll be doing like a roughly similar amount of work, except the sides are a lot easier because we don't have any entrances on the sides. The sides are very, very similar to this, really, except I don't think there's actually any stone brick. I don't know without looking at my plans, and I want to concentrate, but I don't think there's any stone brick. It's kind of like a similar shape, but no entrances, so it's quite easy. So once you have your nether brick archway, boom, that's that taken care of. We now want to take out the spruce wood, and starting from left of the nether brick archway on top of this left-hand spruce wood right here, we want to go up by 8 with the spruce wood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to do an upper right diagonal, go up by 3, 1, 2, 3. We then want to do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do 2 upright diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go up by 1. Go right by 11, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go down by 1. Do 2 bottom right diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down until you connect all the way down to the opposite side on the other side of the entrance. And you guys know what to do after this. Very mundane, very boring. Got to fill in the inside of the shape that we've just made. I know, trust me. Nobody knows more than me. I've had to build this, I think, 3 times in total, including this. So twice before this, and you know, well, one time now. We've all got to suffer. You've got to suffer if you want the arena. You guys know how it works. It's like Fight Club. To be in it, you've got to... Actually, that's not the moral of Fight Club at all. It's actually a fight against capitalism. But, you know, the whole idea is we've got to fill this thing in with spruce wood. That's not really what we're talking about, is it? We're not going into movie talk. We're not going into philosophy. But what you do want to end up with should look a little bit like this. There you go. Same that we have on the front. Now, we're just going to do the 1 additional layer of spruce wood before we move on to the side. So once you've got that taken care of, come all the way left of what you were just making, and on top of this outer spruce wood here, you want to go on top of this by 8 with your spruce wood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do an upright diagonal and go up on top of it by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal and go up on top of it by 2. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up on top of it by 1. Go right by 2. Then, once you've connected diagonally to that spruce wood that we placed a little bit earlier, we then just have to fill the center of this thing in with spruce wood. And once we've done this on this side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, as you guys know already. So once that's been taken care of on the left, let's go over to the right here. Over to the right, this outer spruce wood block, we want to go up on top of this by 8. If you guys remember, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an upper left diagonal. Go up by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 2. Do an up left diagonal, go up 1. Up left diagonal, go up 1, left 2. Once you connect back to there, you just want to fill the center of what have you just been making? You want to fill the center of that in with your spruce wood. That's all you have to do. And once you've done this on the back, you should have equaled what you have on the front there. And once you've got that taken care of, we're now going to move on to the sides a little bit. So let me just adjust my plans for the sides. Oh, there we go. Isn't that lovely? Once you have that taken care of, this is what we want to do next. So it doesn't really matter which side of the arena you begin this on, because we've got to do it to not only this side, but that side as well. Well, what you want to do is come to any side you choose, and on top of the left-hand spruce wood that we have on your particular side, you want to go up on top of it by, guys, hang on. You want to go up on top of it by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 1. Do 3 upright diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. then go down by 1, do a bottom right diagonal as you ignore that phone that didn't exist, and connect back down to where you first started. So you now have like a spruce wood archway right here. You then want to fill the center of that spruce wood archway in with, you might have guessed it guys, do you know what you want to fill the center of your spruce wood archway in with? I'm going to give you one guess. You have one guess for this. It's spruce wood. That's right, it's spruce wood. Of course, you got it right. Well, you want to fill it in with spruce wood. I think you might have already gathered that. So, once you've filled that in with spruce wood, we now want to take out our chiseled stone bricks. And left and right of this thing, we have 2 chiseled stone bricks. You basically, with your stone bricks, want to just kind of like trace along the outside of the shape that you've just made. There's no easier way to explain this other than the fact that with your chiseled stone bricks, just kind of like go all the way around the outside of the shape that you've just made. So it's kind of like a slightly bigger version, literally by just 1 block. You guys will see what I'm talking about in just a second. You'll gather, and you just want to have something which should look like that. That's perfecto. Once you've got that taken care of, take out your nether bricks, and you'll see that on the left hand side here where we have this row of 3 nether bricks, you want to, on top of this left hand nether brick right here, go up by 5 with the nether brick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an upper right diagonal. Go up on top of this by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. Go right 1. Do 2 upright diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Go right of that second upright diagonal by 1. Do another upright diagonal, go right by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1. Do 2 bottom right diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go right by 1. Then go down by 2, that is 1 and 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 2. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Do a bottom right diagonal and connect all the way down to where you first started. And what you'll want to end up with should look a little bit like this. And that is perfect, guys. That is your nether brick fence. Nether brick archway pretty much complete. What we now want to do is just fill the center of this nether brick archway in with nether bricks. I may or may not have been checking my phone right there, expecting an important message. Was not the important message. That's why we called them fences. It's not because I'm stupid, but I am stupid, as you guys know. I'm sure that I've already mispronounced God knows how many words, and I'm sure that I've called so many materials by different names already. Feel free to point those out down below in the comment section. Whenever I listen to myself back in these tutorials, I cringe a little bit at the amount of mistakes I make. But that is what you want to end up with, guys, a nether brick archway. Once you have that taken care of, we now want to take out the spruce wood, and we're just going to do a couple of layers of spruce either side of this archway before we move on to the opposite side. So you want to come to the left hand side, and on top of this kind of like outer secondary spruce on top of this, we want to go up on top of this by 8, guys. That is 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an upper right diagonal. Go up on top of this by, let me just guess, by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal. Go up by 2. Do an upright diagonal. Go up by 1. Then do 2 upright diagonals. That is 1 and 2. Go up by 1. And then go right by 11. That is 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's start that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go down by 1. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. That is 1 and 2. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go down by 2. Do a bottom right diagonal. Go down by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down until you connect to the opposite side to give you a spruce wood archway shape. What we then have to do is just fill the center of this archway in with spruce wood, which is very, very exciting. You guys know how much I love doing this. I'm sure that you guys love doing it equally as much, but once we've got this taken care of, we're just going to be adding the one additional layer of spruce wood, which will kind of like put us even with all of the other sides. Then we're going to do the same thing to the right hand side, and then we're going to build up the corners. We're going to build up the 4 corners of the arena once we've actually done like the sides. I figured that we'd get the general shape taken care of first of all, just so that we have stuff to connect to, and just so that we're not just working with loads and loads of diagonal spruce woods all the way throughout this video, because it drives me crazy. But what you want to end up with should look a little bit like this. Perfect. Once you have that taken care of, we now want to come to this again, left hand side, and on top of the second outer spruce wood block, we want to go up by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to do an up right diagonal and go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up right diagonal, go up by 2. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 1, and then right by 2. Once you've done that, you can then just fill the inside of the shape that you've just made in with spruce wood, and you'll end up with something that you've seen probably how many times? 4 times already. That's how many we've already seen this. You'll see that. Perfect. Once you've done that on left, let's do this on the right. So on top of this outer spruce wood block, we want to go up on top of this by, can you guys remember? You want to go up by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go up by 2. Do an up left diagonal. Go up by 1, then do an up left diagonal, go up by 1, left by 2. What you can then do is just fill the center of that shape in with your spruce wood blocks, and once you've got that taken care of, thank God we are done on this side for just a little while. So you just want to end up with something that should look like this. So you can see it's a little bit of a simpler, easier version of what we've done a couple of times already. Now, once you've got that side taken care of, we now want to come all the way over to the opposite side, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So we're on the opposite side here. We want to take this most left-hand spruce wood on this opposite side, and we want to go up on top of it by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an up right diagonal, and go up on top of it by 1. Then do 3 upper right diagonals. That is 1, 2, and 3. We then want to go right by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then go down by 1. Do a bottom right diagonal, and go down until you connect all the way down to the opposite side. Next thing we have to do, once we form that archway shape, you want to fill it in with the spruce wood. This is nothing new. It's nothing new. We've already done this God knows how many times already. Do you guys know how many it is? I don't. 10, 20, 50, 500? A Google? I don't even know. So fill the center of this thing in with spruce wood, and then we can move on to the next bit. You guys know what this is. Once you have your little spruce wood shape there, we want to take out our chiseled stone bricks, and we want to go all the way around the outside of the inside, if you guys feel me, of the spruce wood shape that we've just made with the chiseled stone bricks. So you guys, you know how to do this. We've done this one time already. If it confused you the first time, I really hope it didn't confuse you the second time, because I mean hopefully I kind of expected you guys to get it by now, but you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like that. So you can see we've raised up those chiseled stone bricks, and we've went all the way around the outside of the inside of the spruce wood shape that we've just made. We then want to take out our nether brick, and starting from the left-hand side of the nether brick, the left-hand side of the nether brick, we want to go up on top of this block by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an upper right diagonal, and go up on top of it by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. We then want to do an upright diagonal, go up by 2, and then right by 1. Then do 2 upright diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go right by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, go right by 1, followed by 2 bottom right diagonals, that is 1 and 2. We then want to go right by 1, and then down by 2, that's 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and then go down by 2. We then want to do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3, that's 1, 2, and 3. do a bottom right diagonal, and then go all the way down until you connect to the opposite side. And then what we have to do is just fill the center of the shape in with nether brick. And oh god, flight, no, why Steve? Spider-Man, not Steve. Steve in a Spider-Man costume. That's a question for you. Once you filled in this with nether brick, is it Steve inside of the Spider-Man costume that I'm wearing as my skin, or is that Spider-Man? Is that Peter Parker? I'm not sure. Have we ever verified this? Guys, could somebody do a quick Google and tell me whether Steve is Spider-Man? It's alright, I'll wait for you guys to get back to me. Leave it down below in the comment section right next to how many words I've messed up. So that is the archway of nether brick that we've just made. Once you've got that taken care of, we want to take out our spruce wood. And starting from this left-hand spruce wood on this left-hand side, we want to go up on top of this by, can you guys remember? It's 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an upper right diagonal. And go up on top of it by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal. Go up by 2. Do an upright diagonal. Go up by 1. Do 2 upright diagonals. That is 1 and 2. Go up by 1. And then go right by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to go down 1. Do a bottom right diagonal. And then do another bottom right diagonal, because you're really meant to do 2, guys. Do 2 bottom right diagonals and then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 2. Do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do a bottom right diagonal and go down until you connect all the way back to the opposite side on the opposite, well, side. And then just connect all of the other stone blocks together. What am I talking about? See, add that to the stupid comments that I've said throughout this video. You then just want to fill the center of this spruce wood archway in with spruce wood. Add all of that. Just if you guys, you know how in court you have that woman taking notes of everything that somebody said. Feel free to do that. Let me reread what I just said. I'll re-listen to it just to make sure that it makes absolutely no sense. But if somebody wants to dictate that, feel free. So that is what you want to have for the archway. We've done this a couple of times already. My eyes are starting to go buzz-eyed from looking at too much spruce wood. But once you've got that larger spruce wood archway taken care of, we're now going to do the 2 smaller ones on the left and right hand side. So starting on top of this outer left-hand spruce wood block, we want to go up on top of this by, that is 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an upper right diagonal and go up by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an upright diagonal, go up by 2. Do an upper right diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up 1. Right by 2. Once you've got that taken care of, we now just want to fill the center of this in with the spruce wood as we've become accustomed. Little mini burp there. Fill in the center of this with the spruce wood as we have become accustomed. And once you've done that on the one side, we want to do that on the opposite side. So we now want to come all the way over to the opposite side. On this outer of the right hand spruce wood that we have right here, we want to go up by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Go up by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do an upper left diagonal, go up by 2. Then do an upper left diagonal, go up by 1. Do 2 up, then do an up left diagonal, go up by 1, left by 2. We can then just fill the center of that shape in with spruce wood, and this will be the last time that we have to do this particular part, thank God, because we've done it 4 times already. So what you want to end up with roughly should look a little bit like this, and you can see that that is now the right hand side done. And just to show you this from the front, you can see that we now have majoritively built up the hard parts of the arena. We now have to do the next identical part 4 times in total. It's not that tricky, but it is one of my least favorite parts of this. Alright guys, so let's get this thing cracking. We have to do this 4 times in total. That's why we're going to do it one after another. That's why we built up pretty much the majority of the arena before we got this thing doing. So let's say that you're on the front of your arena. Starting from on top of this left-hand spruce wood right here, we have 2 in our spruce wood. On top of this left-hand spruce wood, we want to go up by 5. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an upright diagonal and go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an upright diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up 1, right 1. Then fill in the center of the shape that you've just made. And not only are we going to do this on this side, but we're also going to do it on the opposite side. And by the opposite side, you can see that we've just done this on the right. By the opposite side, I mean the opposite side here. So we now want to go up on top of this outer spruce wood block, this one right here, and we want to go up on top of it by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Go up on top of it by 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an up left diagonal. We then want to go up by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Do an up left diagonal, go up by 1. Do an up left diagonal, go up 1, left 1. Then fill the center of this shape in with your spruce wood. So just fill the center of the shape in with spruce wood, like this. Perfect. Now, we then want to take these end spruce woods once again, and we're doing these in pairs if you guys haven't gathered. We want to take this end spruce wood right here, and we want to go up on top of this by 9, guys. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of it by 2. We then want to do an upright diagonal, go up by 2, right by 1. We then want to fill the center of this shape in with spruce wood. I'm going to stop saying that in just a moment because I think that you guys all have to gather that obviously you want to fill in the spaces. Once you've done that on the right hand side, we now want to do this on the left. So on top of this left hand spruce wood, we want to go up on top of this by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Go up on top of this by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal, then go up by 2. Do an up left diagonal, go up by 2, left by 1. We then just want to fill the center of this thing in with spruce wood. And you can see that we're very quickly taking care of this corner right here. So now that we only have these 4 left, we then, once again, on these outer 2, building these in pairs on top of this right one first of all, we're going to go up this time by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to do we then want to go right of this 10th block by 1. Then go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go right by 1. And then up by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then want to go right by 1, and then also fill in this little gap that we left at the top there as well. Oh, and we can also go up by 1 as well, so we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. We then want to do this on the opposite side, so we're now on the opposite side here. We want to go up by 10 on top of this block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Then go up on top of this by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal. We then want to go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal. We then just want to fill all of the empty spaces in with spruce wood. So we just want to have something which should look, you can see, same as the opposite side. Oh, we do have that empty space right there, don't we? There we go, perfect. Now we just have these 2 spruce woods left. So on top of this right-hand spruce wood, first of all, we want to go up by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to go right by 1. Then go up by 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go right by 1, and then up by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then right by 1. Once you have that taken care of on that first spruce wood, we now want to go up on top of this spruce wood right here. We want to go up by 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to go left by 1. Then up by 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go left 1. We then want to go up by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then left by 1. you'll notice that we have ran out of spruce wood blocks. You can see that we've quite clearly run out of spruce wood blocks. Well, now what you want to do, guys, is you can see here where we have the empty spaces. Well, we want to fill these empty spaces in with rows of spruce wood that are kind of like in line with the rest of the rows. So you can see we've just added this row of spruce wood in here in the center that's in line with the rows that we have on left and right hand side if we want to do that to that center row. But we also want to do a very similar thing to the other two rows at the top here. So we just kind of want to add 2 more rows of spruce wood in just to fill in the 2 at the top, and they just want to be like the same height and in the exact same sort of pattern as the previous 2. So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, and if you want to, you might notice that all of the spruce wood is kind of in random positions. You might want to smoothen that out, make the spruce wood face a particular way once you finish. But that is one side done, guys. It's not that difficult, but it is time consuming. Once you've done one side, all there is to do is the exact same thing 3 more times. So why don't we get that cracking, guys? Why don't we get that cracking? So we're now coming to the back corner here. Doesn't really matter where we start. And on top of this right hand side, first of all, we're going to start on the right hand side on top of this outer spruce wood block. We want to go up on top of this by 5 with the spruce wood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do an upright diagonal. Then go up on top of it by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do an upright diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up 1, right 1. Fill the center of that thing in with spruce wood, and then we're going to be doing the exact same thing on the opposite side. You guys remember that these things come in pairs. Once you do something to one side, you want to do the same thing to the opposite side. So that's right hand side. Coming over to left hand side, the equivalent block on the left hand side, we want to go up on top of this by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do an upper left diagonal and go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do an up left diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an up left diagonal and go up by 1. Do an up left diagonal, go up 1, left 1. Fill the center of that shape in with spruce wood. So we're just going to get all of that taken care of like that, and now we've just got a lot of the easier pairs to do. So once you've got those 2 done, we now want to, starting from the outer pair again, starting from the right hand side. I'm starting from the right, I don't know why. We want to go on top of this block by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to do an upper right diagonal. We want to go up by 4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upper right diagonal, go up by 2. We then want to do an upper right diagonal, go up by 2, right by 1. Fill in the center of that shape with your spruce wood. And once we've done that on this side, we'll be doing the same thing on the opposite side. So that's that right hand side done. Coming all the way over to this left hand side here, we want to go up on top of this by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go on top of this by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go up by 2. Do an up left diagonal. Go up 2, left 1. Fill the center of that shape in with your spruce wood. So we're just filling the center of the shape in with your spruce wood. Now, moving on to the outer pairs again, starting from the right hand side, we want to go up on top of this by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then go right by 1. Then go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do an up right diagonal. Then go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal. Fill in all of the empty spaces like this. I think there's only 3 of them. Destroy that block. We don't need that on the inside. Only 3 of them. Perfect. Once you've done that on the right, do it on the left. We're on the left here. We want to go up on top of this block by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do an upper left diagonal. Go up on top of this by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upper left diagonal. Go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Up left diagonal. Fill in the center. We'll be done with this. And then we just have the coupling left in the middle. Oh, no, we do have the one block to fill. That's why I always have a look, make sure that we filled in all the blocks. We just have the coupling left in the middle. So on top of this right one, first of all, up by 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to go right by 1. Then up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right by 1. Up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right by 1. Let's do the same thing to the left. So on the left, we need another row of 11. Not going to count it out. The row on the right is perfect. We then want to take this 11th block, go left by 1, up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 1. Then we want to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left by 1. Perfect. What we now have to do is just plug the gaps that we have here. So this first one, we've just got this center row. We need to plug that in. And then we need to do the 2 rows of spruce wood just at the top to just kind of like plug the holes that we have left here. So we just want to have something which should, for this corner, look a little bit like that. And hopefully you guys see that as identical to the very first corner. Once you have that taken care of, guys, we now need to do this just 2 more times. I mean, this is painful, but it's not Sandy's tree dome painful. Once you've got both of those 2 corners, pick another corner. You should only have 2 left, hopefully, and we're going to be doing the exact same procedure. So starting on the right hand side from this outer spruce wood block that we have of these 2 here, we want to go up on top of this block by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an upper right diagonal. Go up on top of it by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do an upper right diagonal and go up on top of it by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an upright diagonal. Go up on top of this by 2. That's 1. Go up on top of it by 1. My apologies. You don't want to go up by 2. Go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up 1, right 1. Fill the center of that shape in with spruce wood. Then we'll do the same on the opposite side. So that is, oh, just got this little bit at the bottom. Fill that in with spruce wood. Come to the opposite side here. This outer of the 2 spruce wood. Go up on top of this by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up on top of this by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up by 1. Do an up left diagonal. Up 1. Left 1. Fill the center of this thing in with spruce wood. So we're just going to fill the center of that. Oh, and we've also got this bottom bit to do, haven't we, as well? So we now have both of those taken care of. Now, on the most outer rows again, starting from the right hand side, we want to go up on top of this block by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to do an upright diagonal. Go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal. Go up by 2. Do an upright diagonal. Go up by 2. Right by 1. Fill in the center of this thing with your spruce wood. So we're just filling in all of these gaps with your spruce wood. Once you've done that on the right, do that on the left. We're on the left here. We want to go up by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Up by 2. We then want to do an up left diagonal. Up by 2. Left by 1. Fill in the center of this thing with your spruce wood. So we just want to, oh god, we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Only 4 more left on top of this outer cup. So go up on top of this right hand block by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then do an up right diagonal. And go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upper right diagonal. And go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal. Fill the center of that shape in with your spruce wood, and once you've done that on the right, we'll have to do this on the left. Coming over to the left, on top of this block, we go up by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do an up left diagonal. We go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then do an up left diagonal. We go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Do an up left diagonal. Fill in the center of this shape with your spruce wood. So you just have something which should look a little bit like that. Once you have these 2 spruce woods left in the center, we want to, on top of this right one, go up by 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to go right by 1. We then want to go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go right by 1. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right by 1. Do the same on this left-hand block. So we want to go up on top of it by 11. We don't have to count that out. We've got this block on the right of us. We then want to go left by 1. Then we want to go up by, I can't remember how many that is. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 1. Up by 4, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left by 1. Now we just have to plug the gaps, and thank Christ, we just have one left to do, because this is... Oh, God, is this mundane, guys. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know how bad this is. It hurts me too. That's something that you can really rely on. If it's hurting you, you best believe it's hurting me. Once you have that third corner done, it's now time for us to move on to the fourth and final corner, which is this one over here, old front right. So once you're here, we want to, once again, starting from this outer of the 2 on the right hand side, we want to go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to do an upper right diagonal, go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do an upper right diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal, go up by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go up 1. Right 1, fill the center of that shape in with your spruce wood, and once all that's filled in with your spruce wood, we can then move on to the other side, can't we? In which we'll be doing the same thing. You guys know how to do this. So once you have got that side taken care of, let's go all the way over onto the left hand side here, and on top of this outer spruce wood block, we want to go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal, go up by 1. Do an up left diagonal, up 1, left 1, fill the center of that shape. I said the center. Fill the center of that shape in with spruce wood, which is exactly what we're crack-lacking on with right now. So there we go, boom. We have the center. Now, on top of the outer spruce woods that we have right here, we want to go up by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we want to do an upper right diagonal and go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upper right diagonal, go up by 2. Do an upper right diagonal, go up by 2, right by 1. Fill in the center of the shape that you have right here with your spruce wood. Do that on the right, do it on the left. We're on the left, we want to go up by 9 on top of this first one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then do an upper left diagonal. Then go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up by 2. Do an up left diagonal. Go up by 2. Left by 1. Fill in the center of that shape with your spruce wood blocks. So we just want to fill the center of that shape in with spruce wood. Then on top of these outer spruce woods, we want to take this right hand spruce wood block and we want to go up on top of it by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We then want to go right by 1. Then go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then right by 1. We then want to go up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we want to do an upright diagonal. We then just want to fill the center of that shape that we've just made in with spruce wood, and we don't have that many to fill in. Once you've done that on the right, do it on the left. So on top of this left hand block, we go up by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then go left by 1. Then up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 1. Then up by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then we do 1 up left diagonal and place 1 on top, and then fill the center of that shape in with your spruce wood. We also take this top block and we do a bottom right diagonal from it, because it wouldn't be right otherwise. I may have done it goofed ever so slightly, but you guys we fixed it, it's okay. Just make sure it's the same as the right hand side, it's easy to figure out. Once you've got that taken care of, we just have the last middle two to finish. So on top of these two center blocks, we go up on top of these by 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't have to count that out again. Go right of this by 1. Then go up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go right 1. Up by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right by 1. Boom. Do the same to the other one. So we don't have to count out that 11. We've already done it once. We then want to go left by 1. Up by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 1. Up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left by 1. All we have to do now is just fill in the gaps. All we have to do, fill in the gaps. You guys know how to do this already. Very, very simple. We just got to add the 3 rows of spruce wood in between the corners, and we have something which should look a little bit like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, once you finish that 4th corner, is the Popular MMOs Arena majoritively done. All of the hard bits pretty much taken care of. Thank you guys. That is the hard bit done. There is a lot more to do, but not as hard as that. Not as time consuming and not as difficult as that. So, once you guys have reached for yourself this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we're actually going to need a couple more materials. Grab yourself, get rid of the stone bricks, and get rid of for the while, get rid of cracked stone bricks. And grab yourself some. We're going to need some redstone lamps, and grab yourself some sort of lighting up source. Block of redstone torch. It doesn't really matter which you use. Grab both of those. Come all the way down into the arena, and let's say starting at the very back of the arena. Actually, here's what you want to do first of all. So, you can see here where we have like the gates on the front and back of the arena, right? Well, this row of 4 nether brick blocks coming inwards, starting from the left hand side of the blocks, you want to do this. You want to do 1 nether brick, 1 birchwood plank, 1 nether brick, 1 birchwood plank in a row of 4 like that. So that's on this side, and you want to do the same on the opposite side. Why don't we just do that, since on the opposite side we also want to have the same thing, except is it reversed? I can't remember whether it's reversed. You know what, I actually have no clue whether it's reversed. Okay, so from the left, you just want to do your nether brick, then your birchwood planks, your nether brick, your birchwood planks. We might have to fix that later, I'll explain why, so do that. What you then want to do is take out your redstone lamps, and you want to do this. So going left of this nether brick, you want to go left with your redstone lamp. And you also just want to fill in that little gap of 2 that you have on the left there. But once you've filled in that gap of 2, what you essentially want to do at the same elevation, so leaving a row of 1 from the floor, you want to kind of go all the way around the inside of your arena with your redstone lamps. So you kind of just want to go all the way around the inside of your arena, and the redstone lamps, the important bit here is that they touch each other. The redstone lamps want to touch each other, and they even come inside of this little crevice that we have right here, like on the sides. You can see where we have these archways. The redstone lamps touch each other. That's the most important part, and it's as simple as that. We should connect to the opposite side on the back where we first started, but and remember to fill in this little 2 crevices in. Oh wait, no, of course, we've still got the other side to do. Remember to fill in those little 2 blocks in. You can see now we're on the back, and we just want to do the same thing. We just want to go all the way around. After this, we're going to be lighting them up with the redstone blocks, but I think the Popular MMOs himself, think he used redstone torches. I don't know. I don't watch his channel, but I did do a little bit of research into this, and I think he actually used torches, but you don't see it. You're never going to see it. You won't see the underside of this arena unless you blow it up, which you might. Maybe you do. He gets up to some crazy things in those videos. Maybe you want to copy, and maybe you want to play with some lucky blocks. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, maybe you want to blow up the arena as well. That's completely up to you. It's your arena, but we want to end up with something that should look, and obviously it's looking a little dim at the moment. We want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Then take out your block of redstone, light up all of those. So I don't know whether redstone torches are more efficient at this. I don't know. I don't actually know. Are redstone torches more efficient at lighting things up? Can they light up more or less than the redstone blocks? I'm not sure. I'm not going to test it, but I'm now going to light up all of these lamps with the redstone block. I'm going to trace along all the way around the inside with the redstone block underneath these lamps, and we can then move on to the next bit. So the next bit, we've already done a little bit of it, but There's a pattern in the center of MMO's floor, in the center of the arena floor. I can't describe the pattern, but it's made out of lamps. Yeah, it's definitely lamps. I thought it was glowstone for a second. It's made out of lamps, and it's made out of... Oh, we're going to need another material. We're also going to need, I believe, some stone slabs. Hey, you know, those are the breaks, aren't they? Aren't those the breaks? You know, sometimes you need slabs. You don't realise that, oh, that one is not lit up in the back corner. Maybe we... Oh, no, we have lit up all of the others. But we're just lighting these up. So we're going to have to draw a pattern in the centre of the arena. And then there's a very, very repeatable, very, very boring, very, very irritating pattern that we are also going to have to make for ourselves. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Once we get there, we've still got quite a few redstone blocks to place, I believe. But... You'll be seeing that in just a moment. Lighting these up. Isn't it lovely watching these light up? I think it's kind of cool how they they trace along behind you. Like, it's not immediate. So like when you do a row of them, you can see them light up like street lights that are just coming on for the first time at night. I love it when that happens. I don't know. There's a certain sound. There's a certain atmosphere once those come on. I get the same sort of thing when I'm lighting up these lights. But you can see that we have now lit up all of these redstone lamps all the way around the inside of the arena. Once you have that taken care of, let me just make sure that the pattern... Oh, good. Yeah, I have got it right. So, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Okay, so come all the way down to the very bottom of your arena and come towards one of the gates. So, this gate, for instance, that we're looking at right now. Move the nether brick and the spruce wood a lot closer together. You'll be doing yourself a massive favor. Once you've done that, you then want to take, for instance, this left-hand nether brick that you can see right here. You guys can see this left-hand nether brick. And dragging this block towards the center with this sequence of blocks, you want to place 13 blocks in this pattern. It's going to go birchwood, nether brick, birchwood, nether brick, birchwood, nether brick. And you want to do this 13 times. So this is important, guys. The number is more important than the pattern. You want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Place a stone brick. So you can see that the amount of blocks is much more important than the pattern in this case. But once you've placed that stone brick, you then, looking down upon it as if we're doing a pixel art, you then want to go left of it by 2. You then want to do 6 bottom left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go down by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to do 6 bottom right diagonals. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go right of this 6th bottom right diagonal by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to do 6 upright diagonals. I'm going to have to face the other way, but they are upright diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go up by 7. So towards that way by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to do 6 up left diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you then just want to connect that 6th up left diagonal all the way back to where you first started. And what you just want to end up with, guys, should look a little bit like this. So it's kind of like a circular-ish looking shape, more like a hexagon. Really, is that got 6 sides? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Take out your old pal, the redstone lamps, once again. Can you guys remember these? I'm sure you can. And let's say, starting from the top left-hand corner of your shape right here, can you see where we have this like center stone brick in the corner? Well, you want to place redstone lamps going all the way around that corner like this, kind of like in a little 90-degree angle shapey sort of thing. Well, you then want to go around the corner of this block by 3 with your redstone lamp. So you kind of want to form like a fish shape, like this. Can you see the fish? I'm sure you can. You then want to take the very corner of this fish shape and you want to do 3 bottom right diagonals from it. That's 1, 2, 3. You then want to take that 3rd bottom right diagonal and you want to do an upper right diagonal from it. I know that this is kind of hard to follow, but it's because we're not really like building down onto the ground. Then from that upright diagonal, we want to go right by 1, do 2 bottom right diagonals, that's 1 and 2. We then want to go down by 1, then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that is 1, 2, left by 1, do 2 up left diagonals, that's 1, 2, go up by 1. And you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Now, what we want to do is fill the center of this shape in with your old pal the redstone lamps, but from each one of the 4 corners of the hexa circle, whatever you want to call it, we want to have this pattern. We kind of like want to have the fish firing the 2 laser dots of redstone lamps at the centerpiece of this. So we want to like find the center stone brick in the corners. We want to do the kind of like corner around it. We then want to form the fish shape, and then we just want to do 2 diagonals with the lamps coming towards the center like this. So you can see that's the left hand side. Let's do the same to the right. So we go all the way around the center block. We then do the fish shape. We then do the 2 little dots. I'm imagining Space Invaders. We do it to the final corner as well. This is the center block. We then do the fish shape. We then do the 2 diagonals coming towards the center, and what you'll end up with should look a little bit like this. It's a little bit more spider-like. It actually reminds me of the spider drone from Incredibles, but whatever you want to imagine. Once you've got that taken care of, we now have to light the underside of this thing up with redstone lamps. You're probably wondering to yourself, hey, why didn't we do this before we actually did the shape? And do you know why? Because I've only just thought about it right now. It would have probably have been a lot easier had we have lit this thing up beforehand. And by light this thing up, I mean like drawn the shape out in redstone lamps and then place the lamps on top of it. But hey, you know, sometimes you don't think of these things. I'm not redoing that portion of the tutorial just so that we can have a slightly easier time. That's not how we roll. We will suffer because it makes us stronger. And because I can't be bothered to redo that part of the tutorial. We will suffer because of that. My laziness, really. No other reason, I suppose. And you know what? I might just do like the outside of this thing. I might fill like the outside of this thing in with the lamps. And then I might destroy the center part of it. Place the lamps underneath so you can see, like, now we have the outer part of it done. Oh, what are you doing there? No. We might destroy the center part of this thing. I'm going to replace the center of this with the redstone block, and then I'm going to place the lamps on top of it because I think that would just be a little bit easier for me. Yeah, it really would have been easier the other way around, wouldn't it? But what can you do? What can you do? So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And what you're also going to want to do, FYI, you want to take out your stone brick slabs, and you want to go all the way around the top of the outside of the shape. So you want to go all the way around the top of the outside of the shape that you've just formed with your stone brick slabs. And you just, well, that's what you want to have. I don't know what else to tell you. You want to go all the way around it, and it kind of like raises the area a little bit. I don't know. It raises the ring. I suppose it makes it a little bit more arena-likey. I don't know. Do people battle here? I'm not sure. Is that it? Have I placed too many? Have I placed too many? If I went up too far, where did I start? I can't remember where I started. I started on this right-hand side, but you can see that we have now placed the slabs. And once you've got that taken care of, guys, we're now entering phase 2 of boring, irritating parts that last forever. So, what do you want to do once you have this taken care of? Oh, also, by the way, I should mention this. I completely forgot. What you then want to do, by the way, once you've added in all of the stone brick slabs, and once you've filled in the center of that thing with your big giant spider drone from Incredibles, fill the center part of this in with chiseled stone brick. Oh, God, we can put off what's coming next. Because next, let me tell you, the next bit is not only incredibly time-consuming, it is no fun. No fun. Oh, you are not lit up, are you? You're not lit up, you poor lamp. You poor lamp, let me give you a rub. Hopefully a genie will come out. So, the next bit after this is possibly one of my least favourite parts, right next to, and I've not forgotten already, right next to actually building up the walls of the arena, this next bit is my least favourite bit. Because after this, apart from the big giant braziers, they're called braziers, you know, the big giant torches on the 4 corners, probably braziers, apart from doing those, which are also not fun, a lot are not fun with this arena, everything else is quite easy. It doesn't even take too much time. As a matter of fact, this next bit is easy, but by God is it frustrating. I'll let you experience it with me. Well, I'm not experiencing it with you at all. I've done this once, twice. I'm not gonna do this again. But I'll explain to you guys what you have to do. It's gonna be fun. So you want to have something which should so far look a little bit like this, guys. That is very center of the arena. We don't have to do anything more to that. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. However, you can see this pattern that we have here, that we've kind of like started for the arena. Well, this pattern has to be spread throughout the entire arena. Let me give you a nice little bit of an example at how this is going to look. So you might be able to see here that the pattern is going to look a little bit like this. We have kind of like one row. Obviously the center part of the arena, it actually kind of like interferes with it a little bit, but the entire pattern, like for the arena, it's going to look a little like this. It's like a checkerboard pattern, like a chess pattern, like a drafts pattern, whatever you want to say. It's like an alternating pattern between nether brick and birchwood fence, birchwood planks, and it wants to look a little something like this. I'm seeing if I can, you know, do a decent portion of it. I say decent portion, I'm not doing a decent portion of it. I'm showing you guys what it wants to look like. So we want to have this pattern that I think I've demonstrated quite well already throughout the entire arena. We want to do that going all the way around the inside of the arena, and it is going to take a spectacular amount of time. Trust me when I tell you guys, this is going to take a while. So, you can see the pattern that you have to do. It's an alternating pattern. It's birchwood, nether brick, birchwood, nether brick, continuous, continuous, ad infinitum. Once you have applied that to the floor of your arena, it's in line with the redstone lamps, we can then move on to phase 2. This is phase 2, actually. This is what I consider phase 2 of irritation. But we're going to apply all of that. I'm going to be back in just a moment once I've done that for myself, but it's going to take a really, really long time. So do that for yourself, guys. I'll be back in just a moment. You'll probably still be working on it whilst I am back in the video. Okay, guys, so once you have finished filling in the floor, it should probably end up looking a little something like that. Not very complicated, but it is definitely time consuming. I know it took me quite a while to do. I can only imagine how long it took you guys as well. We both suffered together. So once you yourself have got that floor taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. So something that did kind of slip my mind is we need to get rid of, let's say, the blocks of redstone, because we won't be needing them for a little while, although we will be needing them, and grab yourself some iron bars. You can see on the inside left and inside right of the arena where we have like these big giant door looking things. Well, we just want to do a layer of iron bars inside of these two big giant door looking things. Quite simple really, but that's what you want to do. You just want to fill the center of these in with the iron bars, and that'll pretty much be it for like the lower part of the arena. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the inside seating for the arena, because there's an inside layer of the arena, and then we'll focus all around the top of the arena because there's some more seating at the top of the arena, and then there is 4 braziers. But hopefully this won't be too painful carrying on forward, but you never know, do you? It might take a little while. We're gonna hope that it's going to take us very little time from this part onwards. The next few bits aren't so difficult. So once you have the floor taken care of, once you have those 2 big giant stone doors taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So I'm just adjusting my plans, guys. So coming all the way up to the top of your arena and starting on any one of the 4 sides, but you do want to be on the very immediate side, the long sides, you want to, with your stone bricks, starting from the top of the arena, you want to leave a row of 4 spruce wood starting from the top alone. So this will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. You want to leave a row of 4 spruce wood starting from the top alone, and on the 5th layer of spruce wood, which would be this one right here, you want to do a layer of stone bricks on the long sides of your arena, and you just don't want to have 1 layer of stone bricks. Oh no, that'd be too easy. What you want to have is a layer of stone bricks that eventually protrudes out of this side of the arena by 3. So you can see, well, I guess it's 4 in total. You can see where we have the doors. I know this is a little difficult to explain. I'm sorry. It's a little difficult to understand maybe because of the way that I'm explaining it. But what you essentially want to have is you want to have like 4 rows, including this one that's kind of set back, on each one of the long sides of the arena, like this. That's probably the best way that I can describe it. The reason that we want to have that many rows is because we will then want to grab ourselves some, I do believe that these are some spruce wood stairs, and in the middle row here kind of connecting to the two corners of the spruce wood that we have in the middle row. Can you see where I'm placing this? We want to have a layer of spruce wood stairs, and these are kind of just like benches that we have on each one of the four sides of the arena. We want to have that, so that's why we want to have that many layers. They want to be one row away from the spruce wood on the back, one row away from the arena on the front. That's why there's that many stone bricks, and we want to have a row of stairs that you can see it kind of like connects diagonally to there and there. It should do the same on each one of the other four sides, so why don't we come to this side, for instance, and remember, you want to leave a row of 4 spruce wood starting from the top, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on this 5th layer, which will be this one, we want to have essentially in total 4 layers of stone bricks coming out from these sides. So this will be 2 that we have now, and then this is going to be 3, and then we'll be wanting 4 in just a moment, and then that'll allow us to place our bench of spruce wood, which is going to connect diagonally in this center row. You can see this is the center row here. It wants to connect diagonally to the 2 spruce wood. So you can see that we have that in the center, and it's the same as that other side there. Now why don't we do it to the front? So is this the front? I think this is the designated front. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, so this will be the 5th row right here down, which is where we're going to be placing the stone bricks. We've just about got our 2 layers of stone bricks taken care of. We're going to want to add 2 more, and once again do the exact same thing. So we've just got this one last one to add. Then we'll be adding the layer of spruce wood stairs, which is going to be set back here, connecting diagonal to diagonal, which is, whoops, one extra one there, which is perfect. And now we just have it on the 4th and final side here. So on the 4th and final side, this is the 5th layer down here. I know that just because of the position of it inside of the archway, so I don't have to count it down. That is 2 rows of stone bricks. We're going to be doing the 3rd layer in a minute, followed by the 4th, and then we can add in the bench, and then we can talk about what we're going to be doing next. So the next thing on the agenda here is going to be connecting each one of these 4 sides together. So we now want to take out our spruce wood stairs, and we want to do a layer of spruce wood stairs that of course connects diagonally in the center row here to the 2 spruce woods that you have on the left and the right. And what you'll want to end up with should look a little bit like this. You can see that we now have the same thing on each one of the 4 sides. Now, we want to connect them together, don't we? Okay guys, so once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So we now have to connect all of these together. And the theory behind this is actually quite simple. So what we basically want to have is, at no point do any one of these stone brick pathways that we have like connecting all of these like sides together that we've just made, we want to make it so that we have like a layer of stone bricks going all the way around them, but at no point do we have a stone brick that is less than 2 bricks away from the wall, if that makes any sense. So we kind of want to have something which should look, let me just finish it, which should look a little bit like this. So do you see what I mean? At no point do you want to have a stone brick which is less than 2 blocks from the wall, and in doing that you will have, there we go. And in doing that, you'll have a nice little bit of a walkway going from each one of the sides. So you can see that none of those stone bricks, diagonally, left, right, up, down, whatever, none of those are less than 2 blocks away from the wall, those stone bricks. Let's do the same to the other side. So, I mean, I can't really give you guys a better way to, I can't really describe this in any better way. I mean, it's just that you want to make sure that you want to connect them all together, and you want to do that with a layer of stone bricks, and you want to make sure that these stone bricks are never less than 2 blocks away from the edge. So you'll want to end up, I mean, you're gonna, it's gonna be something that you kind of like have to eyeball. Really, it's something, it's that. I mean, it's something that you can only really get by looking at it. I mean, does that look right? Are all of those 2 blocks away from the wall? I believe they are. Once you've done that on one side, we've got 2 more sides to do. So I really wish that there was a better way of saying it for you guys, but the reason that I'm doing it this way is because in just a moment we're going to be using this very same application. We're going to be using this very same method to do the top of the little coliseum that we're making here, the top of the arena. So that's why we're doing it this way around, because I think that this is probably going to be the easiest way to do it. And you can see here that once again, none of these stone bricks are any less than 2 blocks away from the sides of the arena. So now we just have one last side to do, and of course you want to make sure that everything is symmetrical. You want to make sure that you've done the same thing on each side, but as long as you adhere to the rules that I've kind of placed down, just kind of like building them up and up and up, making sure that they are no less than 2 blocks away from the side of the arena, you should be able to manage it no problem. And oh, we've got to come a little further this way and this way, and you'll just end up with something that should look a little bit like, is that right? There we go, I think that's right. You should end up with something that is a little bit like this, and I do believe that that is all nice and even the way around here. Actually, I don't think it is on the left and right hand side there. I think that we may have to smoothen that out a bit. Why is it different on this side? Is it? Oh, I think it's because there we go. I think that we've just done that now, or have we? Or have we just created an additional problem? It's quite possible. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You've kind of got to do it all by eye. There's no other way of doing this really, or I mean, I guess there is, but this is a way that I'm choosing to do it, and I think that it's going to make the next bit a little bit easier. I just keep adjusting this just a little bit. There we go. I think that is it. There we go, we just had to do a little bit of further adjusting, but you guys get the theory behind this. You know what you have to do. Apply this to yours. You might even still be working on it, evening things out, but I think that that's the easiest way to do it, because once you have that taken care of down below, what we now want to do, once you've got that seating taken care of inside the arena, we now, with our stone bricks, want to go all the way around the top of the arena with the stone bricks. So on top of each one of these spruce woods, we want to go all the way around the arena, and we just want to place a layer of stone bricks on top of it. Now, the way that this kind of links to what we have just done is, after we have the first initial layer of stone bricks, we then need to extend out our layers of stone bricks, and we need to extend them outside of the arena, and we need to make sure that we have a layer of stone bricks that at all times extends out of the top of the arena by 2 layers, going all the way around, which is the exact same principle that we kind of just applied down there, but you can see that we now have the layer of stone bricks right on top of the arena, and now we're going to kind of put this into practice. So starting on the long side, we're going to have like 2 layers of stone bricks poking out of the top of the arena. We want to have the same thing here and here on the side, so we're just extending them out at the side, out by 1, but out by 2 I should say, but we will reach a point where we will need to kind of like go around again, and we'll need to make sure that each one of these spruce woods does extend out of the side of the arena by 1. So you're just going to have to by 1. I keep saying by 1, guys, but I do mean by 2. I hope that that's kind of concreted in there. We've kind of done one side already, and a lot of this is going to be just a case of kind of just eyeballing it again. Like, you just go around the bottom. Are they all 2 away from the spruce wood? I do believe so, and then we just have to do the same thing on this side. So the easiest way to do it is kind of like just go all the way around like this, add 2 layers of stone onto the existing stone, and then you'll kind of reach a point where you'll notice that you kind of have to like change perspectives, and you kind of just want to add more and more until eventually until it all overhangs by 1 row. You guys are, it's something that you kind of feel a little bit more than anything, but I believe that is just about right. We'll probably also have to take a look at this from kind of like a bird's eye view, make sure that we've done this right, but it's as you get towards the more cornery sections that you're going to have to mess about with it a little bit, but we'll take a look at this. We'll make sure that we have it all even and such before we do move on to the next bit. I don't think that that is even on the right and the left. Now, I know that I did it perfectly on the first side, so we're just going to have to adjust this a little bit. I think that we may have added a little bit too much spruce, to be honest with you. A little bit too much spruce. A little bit too much stone. So here and here, I don't think we need so much. Don't know if we need that corner. Not sure. I think that we do need that one, but you know what, we'll take a look at it from a top-down view after it's all done, and then we'll just have to go around it and we'll have to mess about with it a little bit. That's going to be the way that happens. So why don't we just add the layer going all the way around, and like I said, guys, you'll just reach a certain point where you're like, huh, this is not right. We have to do something about this. So you'll figure out where that is. You'll see where you have to add it. I think, for instance, I've done it perfectly on this. You don't have to add that much stone. Like, if you kind of just like follow the general shape going around, you don't have to add that much additional stone. But you guys, you get the idea, as I keep saying. I don't think we have that much more of it to do we? Are we halfway yet, or are we 3/4 of the way? I can't tell. I can't tell which it is. I don't know whether this is the final side or if we have a little bit more. But for instance, you'll see that we do here, and we have, there we go. I think that that's actually okay. And then we have one additional there to add, and here, 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 and here. And I think we're all good. So you'll just want to take like a top-down view of it in a second. And I mean, I get... Oh, yep. I think that bottom half is symmetrical. I think that bottom half is symmetrical, but I'm looking at the top half, and I'm not seeing anything obvious either, so I think that it's all symmetrical. But on your proper one, I mean, this is the third time I've made this. On your proper one, you'll want to make sure it is all symmetrical, but that's the method that I used to make it originally, and the second time, and that's the method that I'm using the third time. It requires no instruction, it just uses a little bit of... You've just got to look at it, so... Once you have all of that taken care of, guys, we have but one thing left to add to this arena. JK, we've actually got something else, I just remembered. So, on top of the arena, on top of the 4 sides, you want to take out your spruce wood stairs again, and you want to, on the 4 long sides of the arena, you want to take like the middle row, and with your spruce wood stairs, you just want to add... Why is that way? Hang on. Oh, there we go. Never mind. It was just perspective. I thought something was wrong there, but it's not. It's just perspective, I think. So you want to take out your spruce wood stairs, and on each one of the 4 long sides, you want to place a row of spruce wood stairs in the middle row, and it wants to be one shorter than the bench that you have inside of the arena, left and right, like that. So that's the front side of the arena, I believe. Coming over to the left-hand side here, you want to just make sure that it is one lesser than the actual bench that you have down below there. So you just want to come to each one of the 4 sides, and you want to do that, and we're just going to make sure that that is the case like this. And something else to point out, guys, is that those benches should touch the corners of the stone. So, should not touch the corners of the stone, I should say. So, what you want to do is, if those benches touch the corner of the stone, you might just have to add an additional stone brick just on the sides. So, if any of those benches touch the corners of the stone, because I've just realized mine do, they don't want to do that, so we just have to add an additional stone brick just to make sure that that isn't happening, because it's happening on all but one side, and we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. You can see that we have all of those benches on the 4 sides. They don't touch the corners as they did previously. We've just added stone bricks to mess about with that. As you can see, you might just keep noticing bits and pieces that you have to alter with the stone bricks, but just keep doing it, just keep messing about with it, and eventually you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Once you have that taken care of, we just have the 4 braziers to add. So the materials we'll need for the braziers, we'll need cobblestone, we will also need some... Where is it, guys? I'm looking for it. We need some cracked stone bricks. We're going to need some stone brick wall, or cobblestone wall, I should say. I was going to say stone brick fence. We'll want some cobblestone wall. We'll also need some netherrack. We'll need some block of redstone. We'll also need some redstone lamps. Then we'll want to grab something to light the netherrack with, so some flint and steel. So, okay, so once you have all of the materials for your braziers, you're going to want to come to, let's say, this back left-hand side of the arena. We want to be at the top. And you can see where we have like this row of 3 just on the left, and then this row of 2 and this second row of 2. Well, we want to take this left-hand block in this row of 2 right here, this outer block, and on top of this place a cracked stone brick. Then go left of it by 2 and go up 2 like this to form an L shape like so. And you also want to place a cracked stone brick kind of like backwards in the corner of them to form like an arrowhead shape. We then want to add 2 layers of cracked stone bricks on top of our layer of cracked stone bricks to give us this. We then want to take out our cobblestone, and we want to do a layer of cobblestone on top of that. But then we kind of want to take this kind of outer left-hand cobblestone, we want to extend this out by 1, and then we kind of want to go all the way around the cobblestone like this. And what we essentially want to do here is we just want to end up with like a 4x4 platform starting from like this front face. So we want to end up with like a 4x4 platform slapped on top of there, kind of like with the overhanging part towards the center of the arena. We then want to take out our redstone lamps, and we want to place redstone lamps kind of like in that arrowhead formation, like in the center of our cobblestone here, if you can see what I'm talking about. And then we want to make sure that all of these lamps light, and the way that we'll have to do this, we'll have to destroy underneath one of these lamps, the one that's closest towards the front center. We'll also have to place a light source on top, and we're just using our cobblestone to cover all of that up. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Then we want to take out our cobblestone, and we kind of want to fill in around all of those lamps, and we just want to have it so that we have a little formation a little bit like this. I mean, this is so hard to explain, guys, but you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So you kind of want to like go all the way and cover up all of the lamps except for like those 4 faces on the left and those 4 faces on the right, the ones inside the arena. And then you just want to kind of like cover up all of the rest of them like this, and you only want to do it like by going 1 block around them. Then, on top of this, you kind of want to go around the inside face of this with your cobblestone wall like this. Then place a netherrack right in the center. Then go around the netherrack with your cobblestone wall. Light the netherrack. Take out your cobblestone wall, and inside the middle row of the inside face of the brazier, and on the inside row of the like right hand side face, kind of like the 2 inside faces of the brazier, you want to do 2 layers of cobblestone wall, like bisecting them, so coming up the middle left and middle right there, as you can see. And that's one of the braziers. Really difficult to put into words how to build these, but hopefully you guys can still manage to do it anyway. That's 1, we have to do 3 more, so hopefully you guys will get it as we progress along. So now, still on the backhand side of this, we're looking once again for, we have this layer of 3 here, then we want not this layer of 2, but this next layer of 2 here. We want to place a cracked stone brick here on the right hand second block. We then want to extend it up by 2, and we want to extend it right by 2. Place a cracked stone block behind them to form an arrow shape. Add 2 layers of stone bricks on top of what we've just made like this. We then want to add a layer of cobblestone on top. We then want to extend out this outer face like this to, again, form like an arrow shape. Then fill the back portion of this in to form a 4x4 platform. We then have to destroy this center block. We have to replace a block of redstone underneath it, because we're going to do our formation of redstone lamps, and we want them to all be lit up. And then we want to cover up all but the 2 inside faces of the lamps with cobblestone. And to do that, we don't want to go any more than 1 block away from the lamps. We don't want to change the dimensions of this, but we'll want to end up with something that should look a little bit like that. We then want to place a netherrack on top of that redstone, place cobblestone wall going all the way around the inside face to form an arrow, go around the netherrack, light the netherrack, take out the cobblestone wall, do a layer of cobblestone wall on the center inside and on the, well, the two center insides of the little brazier, and we'll end up with something that should look like this. Pretty difficult tutorial, but those are the two. They're in the exact same positions on the left and on the right hand side. Let's come to the front. We come to the front here, it's the same thing. So we have layer of 3, then a layer of 2, then a layer of 2. We take this inside block, layer of 2, we do place 1, go up by 2, place 1, go left by 2, make it into an arrow. Add 2 layers of stone bricks or cracked stone bricks on top of it. We then add a layer of cobblestone on the outer row. We then extend out that outer row by 1, coming towards the center of the Colosseum or the arena, whatever you want to call it. We then turn it into a 4x4 grid. Destroy this middle block, replace it with a block of redstone, place your lamps in the arrow position again. We then want to make sure that all of these are lit up. We then want to, oh, wrong material. We then want to use cobblestone to go all the way around, and we want to just want to shape this brazier a little bit as we go around it, which is perfect. We have just about finished this. Want to fill in the top here, add a netherrack on top of the redstone. We then go around the outside with our cobblestone wall, around the netherrack, light it up, then do the 2 layers of cobblestone walls up the center to give us this. And once again, this is another one of the braziers. Let's do the final one. So we're on the final one now. We're on this final side. Layer of 3 here, 2, 2. We found the second layer of 2. We find this inside block, this right hand block. Place a cracked stone brick. Go up by 2, right of it by 2. Form an arrowhead shape. Add 2 layers of stone bricks on top of this. Then a layer of cobblestone to the outside of this. We then do a block of redstone built in here because we're now placing our lamps again in kind of like a pointy arrowhead shape. We then, with our cobblestone, want to go all the way around the top outside part of this because we just want the 2 outer faces of the brazier, the big giant torch thing. We want only those to be visible. We filled that in now, so now we place a netherrack on top of the redstone block. We light it. We take out a cobblestone wall. We form like a little arrowhead shape, really go all the way around the netherrack here. We then place a row here on the 2 inside middle rows like this. And now we have our braziers, we have our torches, we have all 4 of them. And I did just remember that we do have one last thing to add in, guys. There's one last thing that I just slipped my mind. Once you have all of those 4 torches done, grab yourself some glowstone. It is glowstone this time. Grab glowstone, and underneath this layer of stone bricks that we have here, guys, remember the layer of stone bricks that kind of like we use as a the layer of stone bricks that's kind of like a walkway for inside of the Colosseum and like for the seating area and stuff. Well, we want to have a layer of glowstone that goes all the way around the underside of this thing, and it kind of like hugs the arena. So it kind of like goes all the way around the inside of the arena here, and it just sits underneath this layer of stone bricks. So if you can see what I'm talking about. And it just wants to hug it, and it'll end up looking a little something like this, just to show you a little bit of it since we've already done kind of about half-ish of it. Let's move on to the other half now, and then that'll be the last thing that we have to do. And it's it's been a long, arduous journey, hasn't it, guys? Hasn't it? Hasn't this been fun? It's not been fun. It's not been fun at all, and you guys want me to make more of this. You guys are crazy, but we have just about finished this. It will be worth the wait because it is quite a spectacular arena. As much as I complain, it's just because of how much I've had to build it. As much as I complain, it is quite a spectacular thing to have in your world, especially if you're into YouTubers at all. It really is kind of a nice thing to just kind of have like randomly in one of your worlds. It is quite lovely, but there you go, guys. We have added the glowstone just to the underparts of that. If you can see, it's just kind of hugging the inside. It just causes a little bit of a light source, lights up the arena nicely. And once you finish that, you should have 100% fully completed your Popular MMOs arena. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys like this thing. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. You probably haven't enjoyed it. if you like this video, if you've managed to make it, if you've just had a look at it and determined, yes, this is the arena, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favorite, a share, anything you would feel like doing to just help me out. I would always really appreciate it, because I spent a lot of time not only on the tutorial, not only actually making this thing originally, not only figuring out how to make a tutorial for you guys, I just spent a load of time on this just in total, because you guys wanted it. It was very highly requested, and I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of the kind of things that you guys want to see. For instance, a couple of things on the agenda. You guys want me to make Super Girly Gamer's house, which I will probably end up doing. You also want me to make the lab, something else I'll probably also end up doing. So if you give this video a like, if you give it a share, if you give it a rating, if you wouldn't mind, guys, it really only inspires me to do more things like this. Comment down below, what do you want me to make next? I'm pretty sure you want me to make a couple of the things that I have just listed, but I'm always interested in what you want me to make. Thank you very much for watching. Check out the card system if you want to make more things like this. I'm specifically going to be linking the Popular MMOs and Super Girly Gamer, aka Jen, statue tutorials. Thank you very much, guys. Like, favorite, share, comment down below. Check out the card system. I'll see you guys in the next video.